'Twas the night before Christmas across Central Texas with Cowboys questions that sure do perplex us.
People may think this is just a fairy tale sport, but it's more physically demanding than you could ever imagine. Well, it certainly was one for the record books here at Reliance Stadium, as Peyton Manning recorded his 51st touchdown of the NFL regular season. But unlike regular sports, esports has no boundaries. So Dylan here can play with any player anywhere in the world. It was Johnny Football Day here in Atlanta as A&M star quarterback spoke to the media. But at ABC 40, we put the two-time champ to a real test.
And I challenge Martin to a game.
And let's just say he passed. The Fairfield Eagles made it to their first state title game in the school's history. After a 15-0 season, they wanted to cap it off here in Jerry World. For Christina, tennis has always been something she is good at. But soccer is truly her passion, and she is thankful that she gets one more chance to display that here at Texas A&M. If I told you that playing video games was a professional sport, you probably would laugh at me. But if I mentioned that one of the Sports World Championship matches drew more viewers in the 2013 World Series, you may pay attention. Welcome to the world of esports. E standing for electronic, a world of online computer gaming that has grown a strong following with the League of Legends game at Texas A&M.
Esports is essentially the competitive side of video games, much like NFL is to football. It's exciting. It's only really known to gamers, and that's just because people don't really view it as a really worthy industry yet.
But unlike regular sports, esports has no boundaries. So Dylan here can play with any player anywhere in the world. And the numbers across the world are staggering. For the League of Legends game, there are 50 million subscribers, 30 million daily users, and a World Championship event that sold out tickets in the first 5 minutes. One of the competitors in the World Championships was former Aggie William Lee, who was 16 credits away from graduating with an economics degree before he dropped out to become a pro gamer. He now makes $250,000 a year from sponsorships, advertisements, and by taking part in streams where people from all over pay for him to give them tips to play better. So how is this a sport?
You're on a team of 5 people versus another team of 5 people, and there's an objective to kill the enemy nexus, which wins you the game.
They have to practice for days on end just to even compete with the other ones.
Call them what you want, these athletes embrace the term nerds.
You could look at football and, oh yeah, they're just a bunch of meatheads. People think they're nerds, and in fact we are. We kind of embrace it wholly. If you were to come up to me and say, hey, you're a big fat nerd, I'd be like, thank you. Keep doing what I do, and hopefully invite you out and see what it's all about.
The group at A&M has over 400 people looking to compete at some of the higher levels, and one thing for certain is that the sport only has more room to grow. Reporting from College Station, Mike McCoy, ABC 40 Sports.
I broke my neck in a car wreck, and I just knew that I needed to do something to stay active.
Steve Curley was an active, able-bodied athlete who played high school football until his fatal accident took his natural ability in 1988. Just 2 years after his accident at the Texas Institute of Research and Rehabilitation, Steve focused on an outlet that would change his life.
I met a few guys who were on the floor. They were both quads. One of the guys said, hey, have you ever heard of this sport called murder ball? Somehow we were able to get a video of it. It was a competitive sport. It was a full contact sport. It was the most amazing thing that I ever saw after the injury.
Murder ball, or quad rugby, is a sport meant for quadra and paraplegics to move a volleyball from one side of the court to another. And the Tier Texans, made up of athletes north of Houston, are a team who has been competing in the U.S. Quad Rugby Association since Steve started the team 23 years ago. The sport is extremely beneficial for people like Ryan Gilmer, a former rugby player at Stephen F. Austin who suffered a spinal cord injury while playing rugby.
I like quad rugby more than I like rugby now. All the elements I like of sports are in this sport.
The team faces struggles to find money to play in tournaments and compete against 33 other teams across the U.S. However, to go out and play the sport tends to be one of the hardest challenges for newcomers.
They think I'm going to have a caregiver for the rest of my life. You got to fight the negativity, man, and have a positive attitude. Man, you'd be amazed at how far that will take you after a catastrophic injury.
Despite not having all the physical attributes, these Texans show that having a heart is the only thing that matters. Reporting from Bryan, Mike McCoy, ABC 40 Sports.
The NFL wildcard playoffs started off with a bang today as the Chiefs headed over to Indianapolis to take on the Colts in one of the craziest games you will ever see in the history of the NFL playoffs. Alex Smith had a perfect game and a perfect first half with no better throw than this one to Donnie Avery as he goes 79 yards with not a finger laid on him. Chiefs up 17-7. Then Niles Davis creates separation and Smith finds him in the end zone, and the Chiefs are up 38-10 with 13 to go in the third. There's no way the Colts come back, but all they needed was some luck. Here he has all the time in the world for a 46-yard pass to Derrick Rogers that would set up a Brown touchdown, Colts within 21. After a fumble forced by Mathis, the Colts have great field position and Luck finds Brown on a screen to get the Colts within 14. Then the former Stanford star threads the needle to find Cody Fleener. Down just 17 now, and they're coming back. On a 2nd and goal, Brown hasn't lost a fumble in his career and still doesn't. Andrew Luck saves the day. Take another look at this one, as Luck has the instincts to find the loose ball, then wills his way in to save the Colts season. That's an MVP play. The Colts just down 6. Luck heaves it out to a wide open T.Y. Hilton, who had 13 catches for 224 yards and none bigger than this one. The Colts are now up 1. And with 4th and 11 for the Chiefs now, the season on the line, Smith finds Dwayne Bowe and he gets it, but he is just out. The Chiefs lose this one 45-44. The Colts join the Bills as the only team in NFL history to come back from a 28-point deficit to win the playoffs. And multiple media outlets have reported today that the Longhorns have offered Louisville's Charlie Strong to be the next head coach of Texas, to a deal that may be close to $25 million. And according to ESPN's Joe Schad, he believes that Strong will accept the job sometime Sunday. Strong, who is 53 years old, has had 2 consecutive seasons where he's had double-digit wins, including a Sugar Bowl win over Florida last year. He has gone 37-16 so far with the Cardinals since 2010. And the U.S. Army All-American Bowl was held today, and Kyle Allen, an Aggie commit, started well. Here, Allen finds Frank Iheanacho, another Aggie commit, for a first, and the 6'6" wide receiver may fill Mike Evans' role in the future. Then Allen shows poise by taking a hit in the pocket to have a big completion. Later we see KD Cannon, the future Baylor Bear, taking a pro-like hit. And then we see a Longhorn commit gets his turn. Gerard Hearn beats the East defenders to the sideline and he puts on the Jets, breaks ankles for a gain of 49. Hey, in Baylor, they have a few playmakers coming. Here, this time it's Jadeveon Hall with the pick for a loaded Texas West team. The West went on to win this one 28-6 in the Alamo Dome. And after the past 2 embarrassing losses in which the A&M basketball team was just held to under 52 points in both their contests, they look to turn things around against UT Pan Am. Coach Kennedy just wanted his players to play aggressive, and they sure did that. Alex Caruso, you can't stop me, huh? He gets the Ags going here. Jordan Green, the team captain, drives to the lane with purpose, A&M showing intensity early on the court. Fabian Harris then throws a laser to Caruso for the easy layup, and why not from downtown? Caruso finished the half with 9, and the Ags are up 9. Later in the second, Sean Smith pushing the ball up, and Jamal Jones will finish. They're hooping in Reed Arena today as they finally get things going. Caruso then gets a Christmas present late here from UTPA as he puts the cherry on top to end the game. A&M wins 63-46. And in other wildcard action, the Saints were able to take care of business on the road to beat the Eagles in their first road playoff victory away from the Superdome. And that's it in sports. Back to you, Adam.